Welcome to Prescribing Lifestyle, the podcast that's all about empowering you to live your healthiest, happiest life. I'm your host, Dr. Avi Charlton, and each week we'll dive into the latest research, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you optimize your well-being. From nutrition and fitness to mental health and mindfulness, we'll explore every aspect of lifestyle medicine, giving you the tools you need to make informed decisions and take control of your health. Whether you're looking into preventing disease, managing chronic conditions, or simply elevate your quality of life, Prescribing Lifestyle is here to guide you on your journey to wellness. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to embark on this transformative adventure towards a healthier, happier you. Let's dive in. Welcome to another episode of Prescribing Lifestyle. Today, we're going to talk about salt. Are you getting enough salt? Salt is actually an essential nutrient that comes from your diet. We can't make it ourselves. Our cells need salt to function. We need the sodium and the chloride. Other minerals such as potassium, magnesium, and calcium are all essential. Our body needs the salt for maintaining chemical and fluid balance around our cells. We need it for blood pressure maintenance. We need it to help our nerve to function and our muscles to contract. Your body controls the sodium level very tightly by your kidneys, your nerves, and the adrenal glands, and usually it doesn't go too high or too low. If you have too much salt, your kidneys will get rid of it. It'll go in your urine. But we've always been taught to not have too much salt. We worry about our blood pressure. In fact, most people don't have salt-sensitive hypertension. Most people's hypertension is caused by part of the metabolic syndrome, which is related to the sugar and processed food intake. As you know, metabolic syndrome is characterized by high glucose, hypertension, increased waist circumference, low HDL, the good cholesterol, and high triglyceride. So hypertension is part of the metabolic syndrome. So if you want to control your blood pressure, you really should reduce your sugar, processed foods, and carbohydrate intake. I've had an old lady who has cup of soups for lunch every day. Her blood pressure was through the roof, and I told her to limit her cup of soups. And she came back a couple of weeks later, her blood pressure was much better. So there are all these anecdotal evidence that it's actually the processed foods and the sugar and the carbohydrates that increase your blood pressure rather than the salt. Stop blaming this white crystal. This salt is actually essential. The Australian NHMRC actually advises us to consume no more than 1 teaspoon, which is 5 grams of salt a day, in order to prevent chronic diseases. I think this is way too little salt. So when you go on a low-carb diet, your salt level actually drops very low. You lose salt because you're not consuming processed foods anymore. There's lots of salt in processed foods. Your body drops insulin, which holds on to fluid. Your body will excrete lots of fluid, goes out into the urine, and with that, all the salt goes in as well. So when you go on a low-carb diet, especially in the first 2 weeks, we excrete lots more salt. It goes into the urine, and we need extra salt to prevent us from losing too much salt. This is actually known as keto flu. When you have keto flu, especially in the first 2 weeks of transitioning into a low-carb or keto diet, you can get extra tired, fatigue, headaches, muscle cramps, and dizziness. These symptoms quite often is because of the electrolyte imbalances, because of the low sodium levels when you're changing your fuel system from burning glucose to burning fat. So, to avoid keto flu, especially in the first 2 weeks of going on a low-carb diet, have extra salt. Or you can have electrolytes added to your drinks. When you go on a low-carb keto diet, the insulin level drops. We want the insulin level to drop so we don't keep storing fat. When the insulin level drops, your body stops holding on to so much fluid, and the salt level actually drops as well as your body excretes more salt. Sodium also plays an important role in fluid balance. So we need enough salt to help maintain our fluid balance and avoid dehydration. We need to have extra water and extra salt, especially on a keto diet. And as I said, when you eat a real food diet, there's not much salt. We need to add extra salt, especially if you're not consuming so much processed foods. Adding salt makes your food tasty. Otherwise, your food can be bland and lacking flavor. That is really important. People go on a low salt diet actually is very hard to maintain because their food isn't tasty. Salt also includes other minerals like iodine, which is important for thyroid function, and it also includes other minerals like potassium, magnesium, and calcium. So it's important to maintain your salt intake, especially if you go on a ketogenic or low carbohydrate diet. Having too little salt can actually be dangerous. Too little salt increases your insulin resistance. Your insulin doesn't work as well. Too little salt can actually increase the risk of chronic conditions such as heart attacks, strokes, and infection and other diseases. Having more salt actually makes you live longer. Imagine that. So we should stop demonizing the salt and stop blaming the salt for all the chronic conditions. The amounts of salt, it's not one size fits all. It depends on lots of factors, including your fitness level, your level of physical activities. If you sweat more, depends on the weather, whether it's summer or winter, and whether you have other conditions like kidney diseases and whether you're taking medications. For most people who are well and don't have chronic conditions, not taking medications, and going on a low-carb diet, I would suggest you aim to have 2,000 to 4,000 grams of sodium a day, which is 1 or 2 teaspoons. We need to maintain our potassium, 3 to 4 grams, and magnesium, 300 to 500 grams. However, it might change if you have more physical activity or if you're sweating a bit more or according to weather. If you have too little salt, you can be tired, cramps, muscle twitching. So where do I find the salt? Add lots of salt to your food. Drinking bone broth can help. If you need potassium, you can eat potassium-rich foods like avocado, broccoli, mushrooms, even in meat, there's potassium as well. Salmon, almonds, you can find the potassium there. Quite often it'll be beneficial to have magnesium supplements. You can find magnesium in avocado, leafy greens, hemp seeds, mackerels, chia seeds, and quite often magnesium is deficient in our soil. So you might benefit from supplementing magnesium as a supplement to take at night, and that'll help you sleep. However, all this discussion is not tailored to your condition. You might need to consult with your healthcare professional to have tailored medical advice. You can come in to see me, or you can see your own doctor and discuss whether you need extra salt or you need to restrict your salt according to your medical condition. So I hope this episode triggers your insight into your salt intake. You might want to look into a bit more, or you can come in to consult me for tailored medical advice. And let's hope we stay healthy. Thank you for paying attention. Bye. Before we finish, I want to tell you about an exciting event I'll be hosting. I have planned a low-carb dinner at Bucatini Restaurant in Mitcham on Saturday, 18th of May, 6:30. Please join us in this event with delicious food, inspiring conversations, and practical insights on how to live a low-carb lifestyle. I have invited health coach Charlene Lester and nutritionist Carla V. Carter as guest speakers. I have organised sponsors with prizes in the goodie bags. We have plenty of time to ask questions and connect with each other. And we'll have an amazing lucky draw with lots of contribution from our sponsors. So please join me in this amazing event I have put together for you. Don't miss out, reserve your spot, tickets are limited. Head to my website or check out the show notes for more details. Hope to see you there. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Prescribing Lifestyle. We hope you found today's discussion insightful and motivating. Remember, your health journey is a marathon, not a sprint. Implementing small, sustainable changes over time can lead to sustainable improvements in your well-being. Remember, these podcasts are not to be treated as medical advice. You should see your own doctor for medical treatment, or you can come in to see me in my clinic in Melbourne Low-Carb Clinic, face-to-face or telehealth Australia-wide. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate and review us on your favourite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and continue bringing you valuable content. I also want to invite you to head to the website of Melbourne Low-Carb Clinic to download a free ebook and join my free community on Facebook. Stay connected with us on the socials. And don't forget to share this podcast with your friends and family who might benefit from our discussions. Until next time, keep prioritizing your health and embrace the power of lifestyle medicine. Take care and see you soon on Prescribing Lifestyle.